You were in a program called Drive for Diversity. Tell us a little bit about the program.
Yeah, so when we jumped on, it was a brand new year. In years past, you went through a combine type deal, competition based deal. You had 60 drivers. They would dwindle it down to 10, and then they would ship you out across the states. Go to certain teams. You'd be there for a full season in whatever series it was. And that was it. And when I jumped in, everything was in-house. Everything was moved to Rev Racing right there in Mooresville. And all the drivers were in the same team, crew chief, same area. Like we were all, 4 K&N cars, 6 late models. Like we were all in-house working together. And, it was documented on BET, change lanes. We got the experience off-track publicity just as much as the on-track publicity. Coming out of the gates for us, winning the first race at Greenville Pickens Speedway there in 2010. And then kind of, hey, I'm here in the sport. I want to make this my career. And then we went on to win 4 more races in those 2 years, winning Rookie of the Year, putting together a great kind of foundation to the NASCAR ranks. And so, now it's continuing to provide opportunities for minorities that necessarily feel like they don't have the funding or the resources to get them to that next level. And so now it's like, okay, we'll get you guys together. You send in your resumes. We look it over. And if we think that you have it, we'll give you a shot. Doesn't mean you're in. We'll give you a shot. And they'll hold a 3 or 4 day test session for all the drivers. And again, dwindle it down to, I think it's a little bit less. I think it's 6 now or so. So the spots are a little bit more slim. But, if you show up with the attitude and the mindset that second is not an option, then you got to show that and you got to carry that. And that's one thing that you see kids coming up through now have.
Critics have said, man, this ain't nothing but window dressing for affirmative action. How do you respond to that?
Obviously, there's, like I said, glass half full, glass half empty. This is a great opportunity for minorities. This is a handout for minorities. You walk your walk, you talk your talk. This is your path. You stay on it. Don't let the naysayers get in your head. You prove them wrong. And once we win this year, I'm gonna prove everybody wrong.
You were born in Alabama. You were raised in North Carolina, which
Yes, sir.
North Carolina is considered the NASCAR, the racing capital of the world. And you're in Concord,
Yep.
around Mooresville, Kannapolis. I've been up in that area. I got my dogs from there. What was it like growing up in North Carolina? And did you always want to be a race car driver, or did you want to play football, basketball, baseball? How did NASCAR get in your blood?
Yeah, so we actually lived 10 minutes from the Speedway, 15 minutes from the Speedway. And 2 times throughout the year, I didn't know that it was May and October, but it always happened to be at those times. And you hear race cars over there, and it's like, what's that? And it's like, that's the racetrack over there. It's like, okay, I'm going to go back outside and play with hide and go seek and tag with my friends, whatever. And that was that. And I started playing basketball at the age of 5 and did the little rec league stuff. And my sister, she's 5 years older than me. She was playing travel AAU ball. And so we were always traveling around following her. And I enjoyed it because her teammates had brothers and sisters that we were all in the same age group. So we were out running around in the gym, having fun. And I would play basketball when I'd get back home. And then when I was 7 and 8, or no, actually I was 8 and 9, I jumped on the travel AAU ball team. And kind of thought that was my career path. Loved playing basketball. Didn't really necessarily know of anything else. I remember going to the Speedway when I was probably 5 or 6 with my parents for a dinner for something. I don't know why we went. And I was like, can we go home? I'm ready to go home. Go back to playing outside. And when I was 9, my dad had bought a Harley Davidson. Took it to a bike shop to get it all customized out. And the guy who owned the bike shop called or invited us to come out one weekend, and we became really good family friends even to this day. And next thing you know, it was like sitting in the stands that weekend. My dad was like, hey, you want to try this? And I'm like, sure, why not? I remember going to the racetrack actually. My dad had a go-kart, and I would go to the racetrack with them, and I would play with the race cars in the dirt and do all that stuff. But that never was like, I want to do this.
Right.
My dad flipped. He raced 3 times, and he flipped every single time. He flipped 3 times. And so I definitely did get my driving skills from him. He's always been a racing fan. You know, he's from Nashville.
Right.
Part of my family's from Nashville, so they raced up there at the fairgrounds. But it wasn't until we were sitting in the stands, he was like, "You want to try it?" And I'm like, "Sure, why not?" And that was it. We went out and bought a go-kart the next weekend and started testing and running. My first race was a national event. We wrecked out. Cart was mangled and destroyed. And I was like, "Hey, can we fix it and get back out there?" And my dad was like, "All right, we're going to be in this sport for a while," once I asked that. So the rest is history.
You know what to do. Hit the subscribe button to become an official member of Club Shay Shay, where we always do something before two something.